Hello and welcome to Thrive at Home. My name is Sam.
Hi, I'm Kerri, and we wanted to share a little thought with you that we've had. We've been preparing for our upcoming workshop that we're super excited about, and we'll tell you more about that in a minute. But as we were talking about stories and just preparing, as you do. And one of the things that we thought was very, very important is just a little nugget about emotions and how you feel about your partner's emotions.
Right.
And typically, you may say, well, I care a lot about how they feel. You know, the feelings are important to me.
Yeah.
But are your actions demonstrating that your partner's emotions are important to you?
And then comparing that to being controlled by your partner's emotions. Because I would say I have definitely met a lot of men who felt that their wife was manipulating them when they cried.
Okay.
So then they're like, well, that's unfair. It's unfair when you go into emotions, you know, because now you're pulling at my heartstrings. And it's like the battle line has shifted.
Yeah. Well, whether you're aware of it or not, you have been taught or you have caught in your lifetime how you were supposed to feel and handle someone else's emotions. And each person's different, but it comes across like if you are having the kinds of conversations with your partner of, wow, you know, tell me more about that, and you find yourself leaning in, then you care about how your spouse is feeling, and whether they're upset about the day or parenting has gone crazy, or whether they've had a talk with their mom and you know it's gone nuts. But if you're leaning in and if you're interested, then that's a good demonstration that you care about.
Yeah. Versus the opposite side, right? So this continuum, you know, one is this truly emotionally engaged, leaning in, like you're saying, and then the other side is someone tries to bring up their feelings. And the person says, I'm sorry you feel that way. You know, I'm sorry you feel that way. But that's not my problem. Like, that's your problem.
This is one of my favorite. That's ridiculous. You're being irrational.
Yeah. And I would just tell people that that's the emotional no-fly zone. So if we're talking on the emotional IQ, right, like how well your emotional intelligence, if you're pulling that move off, okay, then your emotional intelligence probably has dropped a few points, okay? Because that is incredibly emotionally dismissive.
Right.
Now, the other day, we had an experience where I left you crying in the bathroom.
Yes.
to go on a bike ride.
Yes, he did.
Okay, this is a true story. And you could think, well, that was a really emotionally dismissing. But the truth is that we had just had a hard conversation where we had to be reminded that there was something we couldn't do right now. And I had to make a call like, you know what, that's not something we can do right now. And it hurt. And so you were crying as the result of that frustration. But, you know, so I mean, you have to have your emotions. And I can't completely let your emotions control me. But I knew it hurt.
Right. And it was one of those things I asked for it. I was like, just give me an answer.
Right.
Either way, I'll be okay eventually.
Right.
And the answer was not anything I wanted to hear, but going with what we were discussing is what I needed to hear. And after about a half day of, I got back on track.
Yeah. So I think this is the key, is that a great relationship, I think, has to have two things going on. One is the emotional connection. Like, I care about you, but I can't always make you happy.
Right.
And then the other is the emotional strength to be able to make decisions that you know are right, that you have decided on, that the other is not going to like in that moment.
Right.
You know, and I mean, this is gets complicated.
Yes, it does.
But you can do that if your partner knows you care.
Right.
I think that's the key, right? The underlying thing is, do you care, or are you communicating, I don't care how you feel?
Right.
Like, yeah, you just take your feelings and whatever. That's probably not going to work. But the other is, I'm really sorry this is hurting.
Right.
You know, this really sucks. Like, I don't want this. And yet, this is what we need to do.
Right.
So I think you can hold your partner's emotions and love them, but not be controlled by them.
Right. Right. So we wanted to share that little piece and then also to tell you about our workshop that's coming up. It's on February 7th. It's a Saturday from 9 to 12. It's going to be amazing. So super excited. It's called Building a First Class Marriage. And I'll tell you, I've only flown first class once in my life. And it was the best experience ever. Just so different from normal. And so when we were deciding on this workshop, we're just like, we want couples to have something that's not their normal. We want them to be strengthened, encouraged, get new and fresh ideas, to have a relationship that is beyond their normal. And that is our whole
goal. Get upgraded.
So
you may have been flying coach.
But we're just super excited. We want to invite all of you to share, to spread the word, to come. It would be great.
So this, of course, is in Poway, so it's San Diego area. But if you know somebody who'd be interested, forward this email. And you can always like us on Facebook. So we have a Facebook page that we post to every single day. Little daily nuggets of encouragement, and we post our videos and stuff like that. So follow us there. We have a Vimeo channel. We're trying to do a little better job of helping people stay connected with us. So this is Thrive at Home. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time.